So make sure your back is straight and your eyes are very slightly open, looking downwards, not focusing on anything, or if you need to close them, just gently. And just take 3 breaths with full awareness, complete concentration on the breath. And then we'll bring our mind to focus on the benefits of relying on the teacher, a spiritual teacher, who has all the qualifications, a deep knowledge of wisdom, and exemplifying bodhicitta, compassion and love. The Buddha explained that when you become emotionally closer and serve and venerate the Guru, the spiritual teacher, this enables your thought to be virtuous, because you hear virtuous teachings, and through this your practice becomes virtuous. And in this way you won't bring any suffering on yourself or others. Because when we cultivate virtue, we cultivate virtuous karma. So when the Buddha gave this explanation, it was for the benefit of the disciples. In order that they deepen their practice. And so it is for us. It's explained in the Lamrim Chenmo that there are 8 benefits of correctly devoting oneself to a spiritual friend. By making offerings and by offering service, we ourselves become closer to enlightenment. It's explained that by devoting ourselves to a spiritual teacher, in fact we please the Buddhas because the teacher and the Buddhas are inseparable. The same nature, the same wisdom nature. It's not that they're pleased for their own sake. It's because they can see that we are moving ourselves away from suffering and moving towards an enlightened state. So in that way they're pleased. Because we're fulfilling our potential. And if we rely on the spiritual friend correctly, then we're protected because we can be prevented from harm, from negative forces or people who are malicious, who take us further away from the Dharma. So actually it's our mind that is protected primarily, so that we're not disturbed by these other influences. And also our delusions and negative actions won't overpower us. In fact, they become less and less until they cease altogether. So our afflictive emotions become reduced, not so prominent. It's actually quite logical, isn't it? It makes sense. that by relying on a being who is practicing virtue, that we ourselves go in the same direction. So all our good qualities increase, and our realizations increase. Furthermore, we're setting up the seed to find the teacher again in future lives. We're creating a connection and an imprint for this to manifest again in a future life. It's also explained that by respecting and serving your teachers, you exhaust the negative karma that would otherwise lead to rebirth in lower realms. In this way, we can purify karma that would lead to harm to ourselves, to our mind and body in this life, and to experience the karma in a small way, some kind of minor inconvenience, rather than some drastic negative thing that might happen in future. So relying on the spiritual friend is a source of purification. And it also leads to the collection of merit on such a vast scale, much more powerful than other ways that we might make merit, such as making offerings or doing precepts. These are really helpful and important. But relying on the spiritual teacher is much stronger than all of these really positive, virtuous actions. It also reduces the effort we have to make. It becomes more effortless because we can do these practices with joy, with energy, and it leads to accomplishment. It's explained that after obtaining virtue through respecting and serving the teacher with thought and practice, you will accomplish others' welfare as well as your own, and complete the collection of wisdom and merit.